So here's a few rappers from Kendallville, Indiana. Well, you got me, Honest Jake. As you can see, there's some things about me. And here's Eddie Sloan. Eddie Sloan, if you never heard of him, he's right here. Eddie Sloan is from Kendallville as well. And yeah, he did quite a few tracks and wait for him to come back out. And here's a feature he did. And also next to this Kendallville is Fort Wayne, Indiana, which is Nizzy Nice is from. He has a very popular song, My City, everybody knows down there. And nights like this that I like. Then you got Taylor Wells, the Christian rapper, which is my great aunt's nephew. He's originally from LaGrange and Sturgis, Michigan area. And then you got Kimmel Gaming, which I grew up with his brother, playing Call of Duty Zombies with all four of them. All four of his brothers. Used to know his mom. And yeah, Kimmel Gaming's originally from Kendallville. I know it's not music, but I just wanted to throw that out there. So yeah, these are all like people from Indiana area. Place I grew up from or near it. Oh yeah, can't forget about Brad Miller. Yep. He is a hillbilly out of Kendallville that was a basketball player that got in a fight with Shaq. As you can see right here, and Shaq punches him. And you got Amy Yoder, yeah, the Olympus, that my aunt ran against her at one point when she was younger. Honest Jake right there. And then you can't forget about Billiard 101. Billiard's from Kendallville, Indiana. And I just wanted to put this out there. This is my 6th grade teacher, and he did resign from being a principal in the middle school of East Noble. And I do get it. I mean, he was a good guy. He was like one of my favorite teachers. I just want to state that out there and put that on him. This is what he had posted. Mr. Deming was the principal at the middle school in Kendallville, Indiana, East Noble Middle School. And you can't forget about Craig Monk, which was a theater teacher in East Noble High School. And I heard some crazy stories about him. And look, as you see that video in 2016, that's when, like, my junior year of high school. I was in school. This was also in Kendallville, Indiana, where this teacher taught in. Kind of heard that he would say what was ever on his mind. I don't know. Didn't have him in school. Oh yeah, me, Honest J Gaming, is from Kendallville as well. My ex, Reese Miller, had made me this artwork. Going back to Fort Wayne, Indiana, Honest Jake, I manage Lightspeed's music, and I got his music CD in the Fort Wayne Sweetwater store, the music store. A long time ago when I first came here to Music Flyer, I dropped off a music flyer and I don't think anything happened, but I then ended up getting CDs in there. Sweetwater is the #1 music store and music distributor in the world. I did work in the warehouse. I did about every job in there except guitar gallery, and I didn't get to do the photos, which I really wanted to do for the eBay store. My supervisor was Kenny and Tyler. Tyler was Chuck Surak's stepson, which was the original owner of Sweetwater, the creator. And I didn't really like Tyler. Tyler was weird. So was Kenny. Oh yeah, I want to also add, I used to work with this guy, Noah Pretty. He's a interesting character. Pretty cool guy. He can sing about any song without the radio playing. Any country song you could think of. Here's one of the covers he did. I used to work with this guy at a couple towns down from Kendallville. It was about 48 minutes, I think, I worked with him at the Rennet Center in Angola, Indiana. Noah stands about 6'6", and They used to call him Honky Kong, as he would tell me. His YouTube channel was 60 frames per second. I don't know exactly how it was spelled, but I can tell you that is it. Oh yeah, this guy named Brandon was me and Noah's store manager, and I don't know specifically what his name is entirely, but I tried to Google it. This is the most information I could remember. But yeah, Brandon had over 300,000 followers on Twitch, I think, and he was making $1,500 a week. And yeah, crazy part is Brandon was originally from Corona, which is right next to Kennerville. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, the information that you mostly read was most of the stuff I tried to Google, and that's what the AI came up with. Was the search engine. I really don't know if this is a joke or not, but I sat there and Brandon and Noah were talking, and Brandon had said that he said if his wife ever got sick, he was going to become a shooter. And then his wife did get sick, and I think I had left my job at the time at Rennet Center, and yeah, there's that. I pray to God he never did. And yeah, Noah, he said if his wife ever left him, he'd go up in the mountains and live there forever until he got gray and old and feed himself to the bears. So yeah. Oh yeah, in Corona, Indiana, this place was called Hillbilly Tire. And I remember driving past it one day, and they were closing down, and they had a bunch of free tires. They were literally giving away all their tires for free. My sperm donor is from this town too, which is my biological father that I call sperm donor, which told me this year after told my mother that he basically kept me away from drugs, which he chose drugs over me. Fuck that dude. So yeah, get this. There's this other guy named David I used to work with. The reason why I have a mini bike on the screen is you'll understand. Me, Noah, and David, and Brandon all worked together. Brandon was 6 foot, David was 6'4", and who was it? Noah was 6'6". And these guys, great or not, they were over 200 pounds. And I saw these guys riding these mini bikes all over the store. And one crashed into the TV display. It's crazy. Up in the Angola Rennet Center store in Indiana. There also was this guy named Casey, who was quote quote a part anonymous, who was a good buddy of mine. I worked for 3 years at Rennet Center, and he had told me he had stole C4 from the government, and his daddy got him out of it. But and he also told me he had made $500,000 with Bitcoin when he was younger, about 22, 23 years old. And at the last Rennet Center store I worked at up in Angola, Indiana, he had told me the day before he sold his Bitcoin, he was gonna go sell it. And then when I got online and looked, it went down like $20,000, $30,000. So he had a lot into it. And then the next day, the DM came in and he told me he was going to tell the DM he stepped down from store manager to quit his job at Rennet Center. And he did. He ended up quitting his job, and damn, I think he worked a part-time job after that. Every store I went to, from the Auburn store to Kendallville store to the Angola store. By stores, I mean rent-a-centers. I went with Casey, and I was there for about 8 months with them at each one. Boy, oh boy, do I have crazy stories at Rennet Center. That place was a fucking joke. I was a credit manager. Man, I worked there for 3 years. Let me grab a chip. So, yeah, my store manager in Kennerville, he was fucking insane. He, like, literally would say eating a day-old piece of bread was a sin, and he would refuse to use the microwave. He called it the radiation of death. So I had a buddy named Mike. Me and him would say get a brown, or we'd say some funny shit, and we'd fuck with Casey and Brandon at the time, which was a Freemason third tier that showed me his Bible. And Brandon actually had some going on with his left eye, and I prayed for him because he had lost his vision and he all you see was shapes. But yeah, Steve was fucking psychotic. He I don't know, I can't describe it. Trying to tell me how to live my life, that kind of bullshit, you know. Chips are good. Oh yeah, it's this guy. I call him Lord Frankwad. He was from the Sturgis, Michigan Rent Center. I covered one day for him, and he bought me some peanut butter chicken. I like the dude. People were right. He was on fucking cocaine and supposedly had sex on the showroom floor and got the sales lady pregnant. I did see that lady, and she was definitely pregnant. And yeah, and then I worked at Auto Park Ford, and I found out that this lady had let him live in her basement. This guy is crazy. He brought people in the back, and I did remember that day when I worked there for one day. Oh yeah, there was a employee that confirmed that he did the stuff he did, and I saw it too. I didn't see the cocaine, but he did invite someone in the back. It was nice to me. The only way he got in trouble was for money embezzlement. Poor Jason, from my old store manager, who played the digital drums. I guess he, towards the end of his career at Rent Center, I already left, but he was a good guy. He was a dick sometimes, but he ended up getting back into drugs. And my first store manager, I can't remember her name, but she was like 400 pounds, and she had to get some, what the fuck was it called? Tiffany. She had to get some of her intestines removed. That was crazy. Come on. I remember the last day I worked at the Rent Center in Auburn, and oh my goodness, I had delivered a refrigerator, and I had unplugged the original refrigerator that was there, and oh man, all these cockroaches floated out the outlet. I just left the new refrigerator there. They really liked me at Rent Center because I always got people like big high accounts, like the people that were like 180 days past due. I'd catch them. So growing up as a kid, my parents would get drunk all the time, and people being drunk was like my television, to be honest. I never liked to taste alcohol. I don't smoke because I don't do any of that crap. I once had an ex that tried to kill me twice with marijuana. I'm gonna let you tip. Didn't find out until it happened. And she was into witchcraft. I don't believe in that spirituality bull crap. Now, one of the things I remember when my mom had brought over this drunk guy named Scott. Scott had a crazy life, you know. He had a girl, and his woman he was with, she stayed in bed with him, and she had stabbed him 12 times, which was crazy. And he lived up to the apartment up the road, and I do remember he about ripped her finger off driving with the minivan they had, with her finger getting stuck. Yeah, he had gotten drunk and told us this crazy thing where he was like, yeah, when you get drunk, you do anything to pleasure yourself. And the reason why I have a goat on the screen is because he told us that he hadn't had sex with a goat. Disgusting. But I don't know. The parents are crazy. They R.I.P. Dad. Same guy that tried to he ended up trying to poison me at one point. My mother didn't believe it. Still to this day, she don't believe that, but it happened. But I forgive him. At the end of his life, he looked up at the sun. It was a beautiful day. We were remodeling the trailer. And he looked at me and said, Jacob, there's got to be a God. And I said, yeah, he's up there. He died like within a week or two after that. Oh yeah, I remember playing Guitar Hero at the stripper's house when I was a little kid. And me and my cousin would go over there and play her son's Xbox 360 whenever she was home. And we'd play Guitar Hero. Then I ended up playing Guitar Hero with this kid there, and then I found out he ended up getting his pecker stung by a bee. And also my cousin got his eye all puffed up because he got stung by a bee. I know also we have a crazy memory. When we were kids, we were in the pool and I got sunburnt on my back really bad, and he had gotten blisters on his back. And also, I do not put my head underwater because as a kid I was traumatized by ear infections, and yeah, I had to end up getting tubes in my ears when I was a kid so my ears would drain out. But yeah, Guitar Hero is like where my music journey began with rock music, and I played on the controller, and Kimmel Gaming was there at my one friend Sheridan's. But how me and Sheridan met, me and his brother, we met by him walking down the alley when I was shooting a bunch of chickens, a bunch of chicken fireworks that you light and they shoot looks like little sparks of eggs of random colors. My dad had got me a whole box of them, and I just became friends with him, and we just did that. A few of his other brothers came by. I remember with Sheridan, I sat in the car with his dad, and he said that's gonna be the last time he sees him. And I remember his mom always made me rock candy. That was good. And that's also where I had another friend, Jacob. We played Halo. That was fun. We played Halo, I think it was Halo 1, and San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That was the games. Funny thing is, I had a buddy named Matt, and that my cousin introduced me to, and he told me about his grandma used to grab garden snakes and pick them up and then rip her teeth into them and then kill them. So yeah, the reason why I bring up Matt is because I gave him this specific copy. You know, it's not my picture, but I gave him this specific copy of Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, and I just gave it to him because he was just a kid that was struggling, and I had a lot. I had a swimming pool, lived in a trailer, had a hot tub, had an Xbox 360. Every kid came over to play, and around the neighborhood would come over and play Xbox with me. And I remember this one time, this kid was running down the hill chasing after my cousin, and I tripped that kid, and he slid on the concrete down a hill and left him alone. Oh yeah, here's a quick look at what my childhood consisted of. And yeah, it's in a random specific order. It's not even a specific order, it's just a random order. And yeah, that is a little glimpse of my childhood, and this is all I got to do.